Ladies and gentlemen, this is a public service announcement. For regular viewers and listeners of AWI Pod, please do not be offended because this program contains good wrestling.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of A Cup of UK Heritage. This is episode 8. I am your host, Brent Piles, leading you through all the Heritage Cup matches in the history of NXT UK. But as you know, I do not come alone. I have got the Ballroom Brawl and Disco Dance and Dynamite Stretch and Intercontinental Playboy. Folks, he's more over than internet memes featuring CM Punk. G.A. Russell Nut, Glenn Abbott. Glenn, I have to ask you this. Did you hear this big news I just heard? Rumors are circulating that CM Punk was wandering the AEW locker room hallways, asking a certain someone where his wife was during the January 6th riots. Did you hear this rumor?
Yes, I did hear that rumor. Oh dear.
I don't know if you saw these, Glenn, but there was a collection of them.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah. They have popped up occasionally on my timeline. Just
that happened to be the most favorite one that I saw that was sent to us by the mayor of Camden. That's
yeah.
why I read that one. I just want to say, if there's anybody out there that if that offended you that I said that, I don't fucking care. So
if you're that right wing, why are you listening to us?
Yeah, I mean, if you're easily offended, then get the fuck out of here. I don't know what you're doing. You came to the wrong show. But anyway, another thing I think we might want to clear up is Glenn is currently in his third fight with coronavirus, COVID-19, or whatever the fuck you call it. So Glenn sounds a little under the weather, starts coughing, you'll know why.
It must be about COVID-40 by now.
For you,
19. Yeah. So.
And I also want to put out a disclaimer that I didn't make Glenn do this. I didn't force him to do the show. As a matter of fact, I tried to talk him out of it, but he said, "No, I'm Glenn fucking Abbott. We're doing the show." And I said, "Fine."
Exactly. Yeah. I nearly, when we first kicked off Piece of Business, the hospital nearly killed me. COVID nearly kicked me, and we still recorded every week. So why should I bother with it now?
That's right. The only thing that could stop that Piece of Business podcast from running in early days is if a fucking hurricane hit Louisiana.
Yeah. And then it took it actually sit right on that person's house. Yeah. Where she lifted it up like the Wizard of Oz for him not to have got on.
Yeah. See, I live in Nebraska. We don't have hurricanes, but we have tornadoes. But I've never felt the house lift up from underneath me. So
no.
Not yet, anyway. But anyway, we're not here to talk about AEW or CM Punk or anything else that we just discussed. We're here to talk about Heritage Cup matches from the history of NXT UK. And this week, Glenn, we're looking at 2 matches from the first round of the number 1 contenders tournament, the last 2 matches of the first round. The first one is going to be a member of one of our favorite factions from NXT UK, D Familia, Teoman taking on Nathan Frazier, who you'll know now from NXT. I believe he's still called Nathan Frazier on NXT, right? They didn't change.
He is, yeah. He'd already changed his name by this point, so.
Yeah, which I looked it up, and his actual shoot name is Ben Carter. So
yeah,
I didn't know that until I looked it up. But yeah, that's his first name he was going with in NXT UK was his actual name.
Somebody said it's his actual name. We're gonna have to change that. You can't have that.
God damn it, pal. I don't know what this NXT UK is, but I tell you what, nobody can have their actual name.
No.
We can't do that. Also, I saw this like that pretty cool moment on NXT where like Nathan Frazier was talking to Seth Rollins in the back, and Seth was telling that he was proud of him. I thought that was really cool because I don't know if people don't know this. He was trained at Seth Rollins training school. So, but anyway, let's dig into this match.
Yes.
First round, as they usually are, feeling out process. Teoman really got a hold of Nathan Frazier's arm, and he was really working it. Some pretty vicious stuff here from Teoman too. He even grabbed like Frazier's ear and like started twisting it too as he had him in the armbar, which I thought I'd never really seen anybody twist an ear like that.
No, I've never. All the joints just seem manipulated in the first round of these. We've never seen an ear bent round like that before.
And I don't know if do you have any older brothers or sisters, Glenn?
No.
Okay, well, I have an older brother, and so I can tell you when somebody grabs your ear and twists, it hurts like a son of a bitch.
I bet. Oh, dear.
Because that was my brother's go-to, was grabbing the ear. So I know exactly what that feels like. Frazier's able to escape. He kind of backs Teoman in the corner, and Teoman just hauls off and slaps Frazier right in the face. Which in most of these matches, it tends to wake people up. And that's what it did. He slapped Nathan Frazier in the face, and it brought Nathan Frazier to life.
It certainly did. It's like he hit a button, and he started bouncing around all over the place.
Yeah, it was like all of a sudden Nathan Frazier turned into the Hulk. Yeah.
Yeah. He went into top speed.
He did. He started landing big stiff punches. He even hit a big drop kick. And that's basically how the first round ends, with Nathan Frazier kind of picking up the pace a little bit, but wasn't able to capitalize because, as we know, the round ends. So then we get into round number 2. Teoman wants to slow Frazier down. So the first thing he does is he tries to like get into the space of Frazier and kind of cut off the ring to kind of keep him in his corner, which I thought was an interesting process. And I kind of forgot, because we haven't watched Teoman wrestle, since NXT UK ended, but I forgot about like the sort of physical style that he has, because he's kind of a smaller guy, but he wrestles more of a physical style. He
does a typical German, that sort of heritage, XWA type wrestling.
Right.
Yeah, you got to remember that Walter would have been one of the ones that trained him.
So it makes perfect sense. Because if you're fighting Walter, if you don't fight back, you're dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Frazier is able to pick up the pace, though, and he knocks Teoman outside of the ring. He goes to do like a dive. Good.
This was absolutely brilliant, the way they did this. The timing was absolutely chef's kiss, spot on.
Yeah, it really was. Teoman's on the outside, and Frazier goes to dive out of the ring on him. Rohan Raja, who is out there with Teoman, pushes Teoman out of the way, and Frazier only hits Raja. And so then Teoman is able to slam Frazier into the ring steps. He then tosses him into the ring and hits a big elbow to the back of the head, and he gets a 3 count. And this all happens within the first minute of the second round. So very quick fall.
Yeah. This is the thing with both of these matches. I don't think they finished every round that had a fall in was within the first minute or so of the round. This is something different from others where we've seen it going down to the last seconds and people being saved by the bell and things.
Right.
Where these ones were all minute or 2 minutes and there's a fall or whatever happened.
And we'll talk about it in the next match, but a lot of them surprised you too. Like you felt the other person was getting the upper hand, and then all of a sudden the script flips.
Yeah.
You didn't think had the upper hand gets the pin. And that happens a lot in this match, and it happened a lot in the match that we talk about next. So into the third round, Teoman's really working over Frazier for most of the round, but then he started to get a little bit too cocky, a little too confident toward the end of the round, and Frazier started to make a little comeback in about the last 45 seconds. He hit like a hurricane run off the top rope, but he was only able to get a 1 count in before the round ended.
Yeah, as I said, it's proved me wrong. This is the round where Teoman gets saved by the bell.
Well, it was a nice little story told there in the second, and then that round, though, I thought Teoman really, taking it to Frazier. Frazier's able to, use his quickness and speed to kind of take the upper hand, but not quick enough because he's not able to get the pin before the round ends.
That's it.
Things got very, very physical in the fourth round, didn't they?
They certainly did. They smashed each other up and they beat each other. And basically, that was it. And then it was a very quick sort of 1-2. Nathan Frazier gets a roll up.
Yeah, it was an interesting little pending combination, too, because Teoman kind of came off the ropes and he kind of hit like one of those, power slams that you get off the ropes, but he also hooked it into like a cradle pin at the same time and was able to get the 3 count. And there was about 1:14 left in the round when that happened too. And again, this is where Teoman looked like he really had the upper hand, and then all of a sudden Frazier comes out of nowhere and is able to get the pin to tie things up. So another good story told in that round as well.
Yeah.
So we head to the 5th round.
Yeah, where Nathan Fraser makes a mistake. He starts off strong.
Yep.
Every other round, it's been Talman that started off strong. He decides that he's going to go for it this round.
Yeah, he hits a sling blade and Brian Buster was only able to get a 2 count. He takes control after he hits a dive to the outside of the ring. He then also hit a really nice springboard elbow that also only got a 2 count. And then as he heads to the top rope, he spends a little bit too much time worried about Rohan Raja on the outside. And when he jumps off the top rope, Teoman is able to move. And I really like this. I don't know what you would even call it. It was like an inverted reverse DDT that Teoman did. I don't know if there's a name for that move, but it was really, really cool. And he's able to get the 3 count. He gets the win here.
Yeah, it was very. The whole thing was very strange because the way that Fraser came off that top rope, just splat.
Yeah.
To do that is really hard. To take that bump face first into the mat and know you're going to be doing it.
Yeah, and to just jump at full force like he did, like you figure you would like wince or let up a little bit. No, he just went straight.
He just went straight into it, spat into the mat. Then that little move from Talman, and then he rolls him up for the win.
Yeah, it was really I really like the ending. I thought that freaking little I don't know what it was from Teoman to win the match was really, really cool. I really like that move. It made me wish that they would have brought the entire De Familia fucking stable over to NXT because they're really not doing anything with Charlie Dempsey at the moment, like nothing at all. And he was so good with those guys. That's
right. Well, he's Chase U at the moment. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, I haven't watched NXT in a while. Actually, I watched the premium live event, which was really good, but the week to week show I've decided is not for me anymore.
No, I understand that. Well, you listen to the commentary on this compared to commentary on NXT at the moment, it's worlds apart.
And like one of the, and I'm not like I just don't eat. AEW usually just isn't my kind of wrestling, and I'm not going to disparage it or talk down about it. But I want to say the only reason why I really want to tune into that new Saturday night show is because I want to hear the commentary team of Kevin Kelly and Nigel McGuinness, because I think Kevin Kelly is probably one of the best play-by-play guys there is, and I don't think there's anybody better when it comes to color as far as Nigel McGuinness.
So, no, it's going to be interesting.
That show's got to be top-notch.
It's going to be interesting to see how he name drops for AEW.
Oh yeah. Really gonna have to work him out then, won't he? The next matchup is Wolfgang taking on Sam Gradwell. Sam Gradwell even cut a little promo before he got the ring, didn't he?
Yeah, excellent. It was excellent. You little wolf, you it's great steaming yogurt.
Yeah, that was fucking amazing. He's another guy where it's just like, why didn't they bring him over? He's so talented and he's so good on the mic and he's so good.
I think his situation is very similar to Charles.
Check
if he got a work permit.
I get it. So yeah, Gradwell was doing a lot of trash talking before the match and during about the first minute of the first round.
Yeah, he didn't stop, did he?
No, he just kept going. Good.
No, go. We'll talk about the first round first because I love what happened in the break for the first and the second.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Wolfgang knocks Sam Gradwell out of the ring. Sam is like baiting Wolfgang to get out of the ring. Wolfgang, thinks better of it at first, but then eventually, the running mouth of Sam Gradwell makes Wolfie get out of the ring and chase him down. But then Sam's able to get the upper hand here because he hits a big flying uppercut off the apron onto Wolfgang, and then Wolfgang was about to get counted out, but he managed to get back into the ring. And then they kind of jawed a little bit with each other in the corner, which was really funny too, for about 17 seconds. And then we get to the middle break here, which was entertaining.
Well, yes, normally at a break, people go get fanned down by the towel or the second and have a drink from their bottle. Not Sam. He gets the mic. He's back at him, calling Wolfie a big burly pipe puller.
Yeah, I usually don't understand Sam Gradwell's, the things he says to people because they're quite British, but they're usually really funny, even though I don't know what he means. And so naturally, starting the second round, Wolfgang just starts, whooping the shit out of Sam Gradwell for about the first 60 seconds of the second round.
It was a stiff European uppercuts. He nearly took Sam's head off.
Yeah, he was really, really just whooping Sam Gradwell's ass for most of this round. He started to take his sweet time though when he had Sam Gradwell down. I thought he was doing a little bit too much pandering. I was going to say pandering to the crowd, but there were no fans, so there was no one to do. And then Sam finally just slapped Wolfgang, and then he got out of the ring and managed to stay away from him until the round ended. Which
excellent, excellent tactic. And what more people didn't use that one?
Yeah,
get out of the ring with about 8 seconds to go. If we could count to 10, but before the round ends,
right? You can't count me on anyway. Yeah, they were really talking about on commentary about how Wolfgang is kind of a hothead, and sometimes he'll lose focus when he gets really angry, and they're really putting that over on commentary. And so that kind of leads into what happens in the third round here, as they've been talking about his
I think one other thing about the second round though was you saw something from Wolfgang you don't see very often. He actually went up from the top rope and splashed Sam.
Yeah, he does do like swanton every now and then, but you don't see Wolfie up on the top rope very often. That's
no.
You would think a wolf could fly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in the third round, Wolfgang comes flying out of the gate. He's really taking it to Sam Gradwell, but Gradwell's able to push him off. And then when Wolfgang comes to charge back at Gradwell gets his knee up and hits Wolfgang in the face with his knee. But more importantly, with the brace that he has on his knee, and he's able to get Wolfgang down. And then he hit it's like a Russian leg sweep clothesline kind of.
Yeah.
And he got the 3 count within 30 seconds of the first round. I think it was like 26 seconds of the third round that he got this pin, and Gradwell is now up 1-0. I just thought it was really good the way commentary told that story about how sometimes he can, mess up when he's a hothead, and then that comes back later to play in the match against him. And that's how he loses the first fall.
That's it. And this is a thing that becomes a thing with Sam Gradwell using that knee support as a weapon.
Yeah.
In other matches that he has going on down the line.
Yeah, because he kind of turns like babyface for the end of the run of NXT UK. So I kind of had forgotten about the heel Sam Gradwell. And I also remember when he was trying to find a tag team partner to fight Pretty Deadly, and he was like, he was going to through drive-thrus and called pizza places. I thought that was fucking awesome. It was really good stuff. So the fourth round, Wolfgang's really selling the shoulder between rounds too. He's kind of having Mark Coffey kind of pull on it for him. He's really selling the right shoulder, I think it was. And so naturally, Sam Gradwell sees that. He really starts to work on the right shoulder. Wolfgang manages to hit a really interesting sort of inverted suplex on Sam, and then he's able to get a 3 count, and that ties things up as we head into the 5th round.
A headbutt first, which was it was quite good. He sort of just headbutted him, then reversed, and then into the. Before Sam even knew what had hit him, really, he was down and being counted.
Yeah, I mean, and just the way it should be when you get headbutted by a man, you should be very confused. Fifth round starts with Wolfgang landing lots of hard punches, but then Gradwell's also trying to work on the shoulder. So it's kind of like a back and forth of Wolfgang lands a couple of hard punches, but then Sam grabs that arm and just jerks that shoulder down, and that shuts Wolfgang down for a second. Then he manages to fight back with some more punches, and then Sam pulls that arm one more time and shuts Wolfgang down. So a nice little back and forth to start the round.
Yeah, but they didn't last very long. Wolfie goes for a spear, misses, tries again and misses, and the third one connects, and it's 1, 2, 3, it's all over.
Yep. You could have Sam Gradwell could avoid 1 spear, he can avoid 2 spears, but he cannot avoid 3.
3.
And Wolfgang is the winner, and he will be taking on Tealman in next week's. I'm not next week, but the semifinals. It will be probably on next week's show. So when I said next week, I was right. It's not on next week's NXT UK, but it will be on next week's
show because we'll be doing the 2 semifinals next week.
That's right. Which is Tealman versus Wolfgang and Noam Dar versus. I'm trying to rack my brain. Who was it?
I can't remember.
Noam Dar and God damn it. God damn it, Glenn. I can't remember.
I can't. Oh, I'll have to look it up. It'll bother me now.
Yep.
Here we are. SmackDown. Where we are. There's the tag teams.
Okay.
The Heritage Cup.
Last week we watched. Yes, that's your voice, Glenn. Last week we watched Mark. Okay, it's Noam Dar versus Kenny Williams.
Kenny Williams, that's it. Yeah.
And
that's a shame that he's not quite fully cockroach Kenny yet, because that would have been an amazing.
Yeah, and I remember like they did like a promo package for this match like the week before it happened, and I remember Noam Dar saying something along the lines of, because Kenny Williams is trying to be like this sneaky, slimy character, and he's kind of transformed from like Back to the Future looking Kenny Williams with Amir Jordan, and he's like, whatever you think it is that you are, I am, and that was one of the best promos I've ever heard in my life.
That was. Yeah, that ring was full of slime that day.
Yeah, yeah. It's going to be a competition to see who could be more slimy, and it's going to be amazing. And I cannot wait. So that's what we'll be reviewing next week. Glenn, what do you need to plug before we get out of here?
Well, I've got me things.
Oh, there we go.
I've probably lost them now. Let's see if I can remember them off the top of the head.
I can help you.
I'm booking the territory with UTT Rob and Dan. They're doing the first and last of wrestling. They also do the Gator Golf, being the Elite Gator Golf tournament. They're reviewing that. And I'm booking the Tankatori, the Life and Times of Tank Abbott, which is coming to an end soon. Big shout out to Andy at Bang Bang Podcast, the DDT boys, DC and Doc. And as you plugged earlier on Twitter, if you're into sci-fi, give the Doctor Who podcast a listen with Dan from Unbooking the Territory and Sci. They review old and new Who in a very balanced and informative and entertaining way.
That's right. I never watched Doctor Who myself, but I can confirm that if Dan Reed is a part of it, it is going to be entertaining, because he is very entertaining on the UTT show that I do enjoy listening to. And of course, check out the new Warring to Attitude, where we reviewed WrestleMania 13. It is out now on YouTube or whatever you listen to podcasts at. And UTT Rob did join us, and that was a hell of a good time. So check that out if you haven't already. I'm also going to be making I don't know when it's coming out, but I'm going to be appearing on the Apron Bump podcast again. I've been on a couple times with Kyle, and I'm going to be reviewing ECW A Matter of Respect 1996. So be on the lookout for that. Give Kyle a follow. He's got a good show. He's a really interesting follow on Twitter too. Usually has a lot of good takes. So at Apron Pump, give Kyle a follow there. And of course, give our buddy, our third member of this podcast team, the Mayor of Canton, a follow on Twitter at Mayor of Canton. Before I forget, make sure you join us this Saturday. We'll be live 9 a.m. Eastern time. What time is that in your time, Glenn? Is that, wait a minute, 2 o'clock?
2, yeah, 2 in the afternoon.
2 p.m. British summertime, if you are a British.
Yeah. And for nothing else, just to hear the big Mayor Boski live.
Yeah, you want to hear that. And then that'll be on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. And then afterwards, we will be going off of YouTube, because if we don't, they will copyright us and take our whole shit down. And then only on Twitch and Twitter, we will be watching more Battle Bowl. That'll be on Saturday morning. So get some coffee and join us 9 a.m. And of course, check out Sports Wire Radio and give our buddy Thomas Bryce a follow at Thomas Bryce 2017 on the Twitters and at Thomas Bryce 2020 on the Instagrams. And they have a YouTube page too. So, just search Sports Wire Radio. That's Sports with a Z, Wire Radio. And you'll be able to subscribe. If you like independent wrestling, especially over in Glenn's neck of the woods, he interviews a lot of independent wrestlers over there. So definitely check that out if that's what you're into. And that's it. That is all. And now all we have to do is let Glenn say goodbye.
Goodbye.